Hello, welcome to Reviews You Can Use. Today I'm giving you my top 5 favorite Family Guy episodes of all time. Note, this ranking is my opinion. I'll also be doing a sequel for my least favorite. Now, before we get into it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Like always, it will help support the channel and will grow the algorithm. And while you're doing that, you can make sure to hit that notify so you never miss any of my videos. You can even follow my socials where I do similar things that I do on this channel and fun posts. At number 5, The Simpsons Guy. I did not expect a crossover between the two longest animated shows ever, but when this happened, Family Guy and The Simpsons knocked it out of the park. There are many great moments. One moment before they even get into the crossover is they have Peter make a comic strip. That is an Easter egg, because when Seth MacFarlane was a child, he made his own comic strip in his town's newspaper, and he got paid $5 a week. When they meet The Simpsons and the other side characters, the magic just started. I love how they make fun of themselves. When they make fun of their catchphrases, comparing them to The Simpsons, that is hilarious. The Peter and Homer fight is funny, and the part with the comic book guy saying, "Worst chicken fight ever," is just knocking out of the park. I also want to take a moment to appreciate Seth MacFarlane and Hank Azaria's voice acting. Seth MacFarlane, of course, voices Peter, Tom Tucker, Brian, Stewie, Carl Pewterschmidt, and all the other characters. Well, not all the other characters, but some of them, like Quagmire, Dr. Hartman, and some of those characters. And it's so Hank Azaria is like the Seth MacFarlane kind of on his show, because he does Apu, Dr. Nick, Chief Wiggum, the comic book guy, Moe, and more other characters, and Dr. Nick as well. So respect and shout out to Seth MacFarlane and Hank Azaria for doing great voice acting in both their shows. They're really good. Family Guy has not won an Emmy, so that just describes the two shows in a nutshell, because Peter and Homer have a fight, and the one part I liked and I think was funny was when Homer throws the Emmys at Peter. And as we all know, Family Guy has not won an Emmy. But I think American Dad is, though. I don't know. But that's funny because this just describes the two shows in a nutshell. All in all, this is a classic episode to me, and it is one of my favorites. Number 4, Road to the Multiverse. One of my favorite Brian and Stewie episodes. Whenever Family Guy does time travel or the multiverse, it is always a treat to watch. There are many great universes they go to. The dog universe, the robot chicken universe. Here's an interesting fact. If you don't know already, Chris's voice actor, Seth Green, owns Robot Chicken, which is funny. That's why you always hear Chris saying why Robot Chicken is better. The Disney universe is great, and the musical number, It's a Wonderful Day for Pi, was awesome. I like the human universe, where Stewie and Brian are humans. He's like, Brian, this feels weird. Hit the button. And they go to the next universe. I love the love it, hate it. Like, you see Stewie with the guys. He says, love it. And Brian says, hate it. And then Brian loves the universe with all the fire hydrants. Stewie hates it. Everything is great about this episode. I always love whenever Stewie and Brian are the focus of an episode, because Stewie is my favorite character. He has good jokes and has good humor when he interacts with the characters. So this episode is one of my favorites. At number 3, we have And Then There Were Fewer. This is a classic for many Family Guy fans. The plot of the episode is where the Griffins and other characters are invited to James Woods' mansion for him to make amends. But like every good murder mystery, things go wrong. Oh, I like how when they show the flashbacks of how the plot goes out, I like how James Woods has a picture of the Griffin family and Peter's face is crossed out with the real James Woods. That is just so funny. Besides having the Griffin family, Quagmire, and Joe in the episode, they bring many side characters in this fun episode, like Tom Tucker, Mort, Carl, Dr. Hartman, Seamus, and Adam West. We even get many interactions with the characters that didn't get much screen time at all in the other seasons. This episode is supposed to be a murder mystery episode, and with that being the main subject, they actually managed to do a very good job with it. This episode, in my opinion, changed Family Guy events forever. They killed 2 of the main characters, Mort's wife Muriel and Diane Simmons. The story works great, the jokes land good, and they are funny. The motif and the plot behind Diane was good. That must have been something that the writers had to think about, because many people, including myself, didn't see that coming to the end. Where Stewie saves Lois is awesome too. Stewie even says a badass line, which in my opinion is one of my favorite lines of all time in the series. Even though the show's creator, Seth MacFarlane, has said this was his favorite episode. This episode is great and is considered by many one of their favorite Family Guy episodes of all time. Number 2, Blue Harvest. Family Guy parodying Star Wars. Great episode. If you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it. What else do I have to say about this episode? Everything's great. Everything is awesome, too. I love how they make jokes and inside jokes about the universe. Fun fact, George Lucas was a fan of the show, and when Seth MacFarlane actually went to go ask him to see if they would do a parody and if it was allowed, he said yes, because he was a fan of the show and he wanted to see what would happen, which was funny. One of my favorite jokes is when Luke Skywalker's Chris goes to save Lois's Leia. He says, "Aren't you fat to be a little trooper?" And I'm not going to say it, but he says, "Well, stay here and rot, you stuck up you know what." And it's just funny. The Minnie the Moocher parody scene was funny where they sneak in. It's just all funny. And they made 2 more episodes, and those are also great too. All right. Now at number 1 for the best Family Guy episode of all time, Back to the Pilot. This has to be number 1, but this is my favorite Family Guy episode of all time. Everything is great about it. The whole plot of the episode is Stewie and Brian going back in time to the pilot. They go around classic moments of the episode. However, when they return to the present, Stewie learns that Brian prevents 9/11. However, the consequences are a new American Civil War, and the only way to convince Brian to save the timeline was Cesar Millan getting killed. Yeah, that convinced him, because he's a dog, and he was a Mexican dog trainer, Cesar Millan, and he's awesome. So that convinces him to do it. Interesting fact, if you don't know, Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of the 9/11 planes. However, due to the bad schedule timing, he missed the gate. Many people believe it was fate, but of course MacFarlane is an atheist, so he doesn't believe any of those things. Brian in real life. Stewie and Brian prevent this from happening, but in the process, Brian decides to take credit for writing the Harry Potter books. Who can blame him for that one? I just don't know. I know it's a cartoon, but there's one thing I have a problem with. There were 3 of the books out already, so how did he take credit? I don't know. It's a cartoon. I shouldn't even be thinking about these things. When they go back, many Brians and Stewie show up at the moment they arrive, trying to fix the timeline for many screw-ups the duo caused. From being Peter in time travel with Brian and Stewie, Stewie having breasts, and to one of the Brians dying. Eventually, the group works things out and fix the timeline. This is why Back to the Pilot is a good plot, jokes, and good twists, and turns the hands of time travel. So there you have it, my top 5 favorite Family Guy episodes of all time. Hope you all enjoyed the ranking. That is all for today on Reviews You Can Use. Hope you all enjoyed the ranking. This was fun to make. Please give this video a like, share this with your friends and family. Also, if you want to stay up to date with what I do and video updates, you can follow my socials. I'm trying to grow the platform past just YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Etsy, where I sell channel merch. If you notice my merch store is a little low, don't worry, we are fixing that. Or if you want to make this easier for yourself, you can just go to my channel, click the About section, and all the links are right there. So, see you next time on Reviews You Can Use. Ciao, amigos.